Hello and welcome. Someone was asking me how long it takes to back up a disk. That isn't it. Well, it's, a couple minutes or so, but I don't know exactly. So what I'm going to do right now here is I'm going to write a program to back up D1 to D0, which is not really exciting because all it says is line 10 backup D0, D1 to D0. But then, so I know exactly how long is in line 5, I'm going to say ti string, which is a time variable, equals 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it's 5. Ti string equals 6 zeros. Then in 15, I'm going to say print ds. ds is the disk status. And what that will do, it will force the computer to look at the disk status. Now, it can't see the disk status until the backup is finished. So once it can see the disk status, I will ask it to print ti string. And right now, if I do a print on ti string, it's 3016 because that's how long the machine has been on. But I'm going to set it to 0. At least I'm going to try. Let's see. I'm ready to close the doors. Here we go. Yes. Okay. We are away. So I tickled the drives. We are going this time from D1 to D0. And if you listen carefully, drive 0 is spinning, and the head is moving. And it does sound like it's a little bit of a noisy disk in there. Soon, we should hear drive 1 kick in. And there it is. So now, drive 1 is spinning, drive 0 is spinning, and all the little tracks and all the little sectors are being copied. And as I was saying in an earlier video, backing up is faster, but I like the copying because, quite simply, I just like seeing the LEDs flash. And when you're doing a backup, they don't really flash. Even if there's an error, they don't flash. You'll hear that horrible head bit. Oh. Well, it stopped, and it seems we're at 121. So that would be about a couple minutes. But did it work? I'm looking at the directory, and indeed, it did not work. It didn't come up with an error. Oh, okay, so somehow that disk did not. It did not. No, it didn't. So we don't really know the answer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add another thing to the program, just because I can. I am asking it to print character string 7. Why? Because character string 7 does this. Maybe I'll have it do it again. This will tell me when it's, oh, I know what happened. It did have an error. It looked at it, but it did it so quickly that It didn't tell. Okay, I'm going to change this. I'm going to ask it to print DS string. So it should tell me, and then it will tell me how much time it took. So, we are going to run again. I'm going to open this one and tickle it ever so gently. Put it in, it's good. Okay, we're going to run. I'm going to tickle it. And now we wait. As many, and most of all, of these discs are 40 years old. It may be we just have a disc that doesn't want to write. If this does not work this way, I will of course try to do it from D0 to D1. Should it make any difference? Not a bit. Might it? Well, yeah. You just never know. So, it is now getting to where it's going to copy. And this will be, I suppose, if something is going to go wrong, it will soon tell us. But in listening at this moment, both drives are spinning and the heads are moving. So, we will see. So, we do not, oh, we have a read error at exactly the same 121. Okay, so we are going to put the disks in the different drives. Just make sure that we have in fact done that. Yes, that's drive 0. Yep. So I think we might have a bad disk. But anyway, what we're going to do now is say back up D0 to D1. And we're going to open these. And we're going to run. And we're going to tickle. And we'll see. Oh, okay. Something already seems not pleased. No? I guess that is why the head bangs, because that's why the head bangs. So, at this moment, drive 1 is formatting. When we wait, almost like waiting for a rocket to kick in the afterburner, or a plane. Once drive 1 is formatted, drive 0 will spin. And there it is. Drive 0 is engaged. So, if things are as they were, very soon we will see this come to a grinding stop. It will report a read error, and it will stop at 1 minute, 21 seconds. Oh, okay, so we have a read error at 1 minute and 26 seconds. Well, this is not necessarily going well. So this disk, I am thinking the output disk, is indeed bad. So, what are we going to do? Well, we'll try a different disk. We will. So, I'm just checking both disks. They seem to be okay. I'm going to list the program. I in fact have The original disk is in drive 0. The output disk is in drive 1. I'm going to open drive 1, and then I'm going to take a look. So, here we go again. So I'm going to set this disk aside because it just doesn't seem to want to format. It may be that it's got some critical error. It may have sludge. It may mean that the disk could be saved if it was removed from the sleeve and washed. I don't tend to, I think it's, you know, disks do go bad. They do. So, but if this, oh, okay, we have engaged the other drive. If this does pretty much the same thing at the same spot, then I'm more likely to think that there is a problem of some sort on the original disk, not the output disk. But we shall see. So right now the computer is trying to read the disk status string, which is DS $, but it cannot because the drive is, oh dear. Oh dear, we have a reader. Oh dear. Okay, so this is not necessarily going well. And there's not a whole lot of extra space on this disk. There is not. So, we are going to save the program I've made so far. We'll just stick it on drive 0, see if it saves. It does. And then we're going to modify it. We're going to keep the time thing in. We're going to change the backup to a copy. Copy D0 to D1. Right. Now before we do that, we're going to put in another line to format the output disk. We are. I'm going to hit enter because before I put the name in, because I don't remember what the name should be. So in line 7, we're going to open 15, 8, 15, quote, tpug best misc dot p, comma, x8, quote, colon, close, 15. So now when I look at the program, it's going to set the time to 0. It's going to format. Oh, I did not tell it which disk to format. I would like to do N1, colon. Let me just make sure that is indeed the case. That is indeed the case. I'm going to pull the disk in drive 0 right out. So we are open 15, 8, 15, quote, N1, colon, tpug best misc dot p, comma, x8, quote, colon, close 15. And then we're going to copy D0 to D1. So, at this second, I'm going to type in run. I'm going to close the door when it does its thing. And then I'm going to put this disk in so that it is ready. So, the copy command can take a little longer. But the LEDs flash. But first, oh, maybe I should have added a line to print DS string after the formatting. So this may be a flaw in the original disk, or it could be two bad disks in a row. It is hard to tell. because of course all discs are suspect, all discs are old. So we will see when the copying begins, when we see the LEDs do magical things, as they are doing, and we hear more noise from the disk drive. It's funny, when I say the disk drive lights are magical, I remember long ago, 40 years or so, when we would go, mostly it was to Leaside High School for meetings of the Toronto Pet Users Group. And up at the front would be a fellow named David Hook, and he was the librarian. And if you brought a blank disc, you could get the disc of the night copied for you. So he would bring certainly a disk drive, and I'm assuming a computer, and other people would bring disk drives and just have them up over their shoulder, the 4040s, quite rugged those drives, and they plugged them down and hooked them up and copied the discs. And I remember sitting there in a meeting watching the lights, and it's funny because I'm sure they used the backup command, but I remember seeing the LEDs flashing on and off, on and off, on and off. And to someone who at the time was perhaps 13, this was pretty mesmerizing. The magic of the teapot meeting. The LEDs are flashing. So, this disc was pretty full. It was. So the LEDs keep on rolling. Aha. Until an error. We have an error. So now, when we do a directory, on drive 1, we should be able to see. Okay, so there's something on here called 5th Scotty.p. It seems that is where the error is. 23 blocks. Oh, wait. I was just about to save it, but I want to save the little program I wrote, just, you know, because I can. Okay. So, 5th Scotty. What is it? No. I suspect it's not going to load. Because, okay, now I'm going to work the drive. And it probably is, no, it's not loading. Nope. So, you know, looking back on this would have been more interesting to be looking at the screen. Oh dear. Well, I'm trying again, but it's not going to work, of course. So what I'm going to do, even though it won't make any difference, I'm going to put the copy disc outside, and I'm going to try loading it off D1. Will it work? No, it won't, but I will give it a try. No. And that light in the middle means there's an error. Grand. Well, 'tis the nature of these old discs. So now, I will have to do something different to try to rescue what I can of this original disc. And that probably means using Jim Butterfield's Copy All program. But that, as they say, is another story for another day. And I think we've seen enough of, I like the lights, I like the disk drives, but I think maybe we'll focus in on the screen for the rest of this. Thank you for coming. Bye for now.